Straight ahead on WBKB, Pfizer's CEO says people could need an additional dose of the COVID-19 vaccine.
Plus, the Governor's Commission says Michigan is on track to meet its vaccination goals. And what's in store for Alpena's economic future?
You're watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 6 starts now.
This is WBKB News at 6. An in-depth look at news, weather, and sports. From hard-hitting news stories to local events, we're there with coverage you can count on. You're watching WBKB News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Tyler Cruz.
And I'm Sherry Stewart. Pfizer says that people will likely need a third dose of the COVID-19 vaccine.
CEO Albert Bourla said a potential booster shot could be administered 6 to 12 months after being vaccinated. He also thinks it's possible that people will need their COVID vaccines annually. Bourla said there are vaccines like polio, where one dose is enough, and vaccines like the flu that are needed each year, adding that COVID-19 is more like the flu than polio. Pfizer and its partner BioNTech began studying a third dose of their vaccine in February. Health experts from northern Michigan weighed in Thursday on strategies to get more people vaccinated.
The group is a prime supporter of the state's efforts to get more shots in the arms of key target audiences, including youth, Native Americans, and employees at large companies. The Protect Michigan Coalition says despite a temporary pause on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, the state is on track to reach its vaccination goals.
Again, we need people to come into the clinics, schedule their appointments, join us to get vaccinated, but we are on track to hit our 70% goal in the middle of summer.
The commission says they're pleased that many in northern Michigan have opted to get the vaccine.
In northern Michigan alone, we have 1 in 3 adult residents that are fully vaccinated. That's approximately 200,000 people across northern lower Michigan.
Adding to that number are student ambassadors like Evan Carlson, a senior at Alpena High School, who is volunteering with the commission and encouraging his peers to get vaccinated.
I will be getting my first vaccine later today at the Alpena Mall. Very easy. It's just a walk-in clinic, and there are many popping up throughout the Northeast Michigan area. I am choosing to get vaccinated in order to protect myself when I go to college at Central Michigan University this fall.
Individuals 16 and 17 years of age must receive the Pfizer vaccine only. Carlson was among the speakers featured in today's COVID-19 virtual press conference. We have a link to the most recent vaccination guidelines posted on our website.
Nearly 9 in every 10 school employees in Michigan have received at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. Recent data released by the Michigan Education Association shows that 82.3% of school employees report being fully vaccinated, with others in the process. Michigan is ahead of national data, which shows that nearly half our educators nationwide have received at least one vaccine. MEA President Paula Herbart says these numbers are a bright spot as Michigan weathers the current wave of COVID cases.
That's good news.
Certainly a step back towards normal.
Absolutely. Here is meteorologist Ellie Morrison with a first check of our weather. Ellie, rumor has it that it's going to be warmer and drier.
Sherry, it's good news in the weather department as we look towards the weekend. We are still seeing some gloomy conditions over the area with cloudy skies. We've seen a few scattered showers, especially over eastern parts of our area, with this band of some showers that's pivoting from north to south. It's all on the back edge of the storm system we've been dealing with throughout the middle of the week. It's 41 degrees with cloudy skies in Alpena and 43 degrees in Oscoda. Temperatures tonight will be heading into the 30s. We're going to have early morning lows for tomorrow, starting off around 34 degrees. By the late morning, we're in the 40s, and afternoon highs will be getting close to 50 degrees for tomorrow. It will continue to get a little bit warmer for Saturday and Sunday. We should also see some sunshine over the weekend. More on the weekend forecast and also when our next chances of wet weather move in are coming up later in the newscast.
Thanks for that, Ellie. We'll check back in with you later. I can't wait to see the sun this weekend.
Yeah.
Alpena economic experts say the city is on track to see some growth. Mike Mahler of Target Alpena presented some of the organization's current goals and projects they're involved with to the township's Board of Trustees on Tuesday. He says there are several projects in the works. These projects will bring several benefits to residents.
This is obviously, all these projects are, for the most part, many of them are going to employ local contractors, can put local people to work here on projects. And so obviously it's a big win for our area.
Mahler says there are talks to bring a second hotel to downtown Alpena. He says he's working with a developer who's shown interest, and they are currently working on logistics. Mahler also mentioned that the expansion to Mid-Michigan Medical Center is a driving force in bringing more businesses to the area.
In a recent report on meth use, we informed the community of signs to look for if you suspect your loved one is a user. WBKB's Stephanie Manici reports on the damaging effects this drug has on people. Here's more.
According to Hunt Detective Stuart Sharp, over the last few years, they've been faced with challenges involving meth they've never had before. Former meth user Ty Reed says he immediately fell in love with the drug when he first tried it.
I could work better, longer, and it allowed me to stay up for days at a time. I literally went through some periods where I would work for days at a time, end on end, and I felt like I was being much more productive, and I liked that, at least in the beginning.
Reed's meth use would eventually send him to rock bottom.
Because of my meth use, I eventually ended up homeless in 2014, which started a series of experiences being in and out of jail, in and out of mental institution. I survived a couple of suicide attempts.
Dr. Adam Heineman explains how damaging this drug can be.
It has so much damage to the heart. It can actually make the heart muscle and grow bigger and give you congestive heart failure. It can actually damage the brain by reducing blood flow to it for prolonged periods of time.
Reed has been clean since January 2019. He says recovery is not often a straight line, and it takes people a few times to start and fail. He adds temptation will always be there, but surrounding yourself with the right people helps. In Alpena, Stephanie Manici, WBKB News.
Thank you for that, Stephanie. With April being National Volunteer Month, we want to highlight one of our young volunteers helping to make her community a better place. Danica Jameson is a high school student who spends her free time giving back. This year, she spent her last few months giving her time to the pop-up food pantries in Alpena County. Just yesterday, Danica helped assemble and hand out over 300 boxes of food to families in need in her community.
I'm homeschooled, so I had a school project where I needed to volunteer somewhere, and so I chose here, and then I liked it so much I just wanted to come back.
While she says it's a little intimidating being the youngest in the room, Danica knows some of the other volunteers from a knitting group in the community. These pantries have donated over $1 million worth of food during the pandemic, and Danica says it's awesome that they're able to help.
I like it. It's kind of cool being behind the scenes and being a part of helping people, I guess. I think it's awesome that we're able to do this.
For more information on how you can help, you can find this story on our website.
Very nice job.
Yeah, I like that. More news ahead for you here on WBKB. Coming up, some local areas are granted funding for better internet access, and meteorologist Ellie Morrison has
At her farm in Curtisville, a gorgeous shot with the fog below and the clear sky above. Thank you, Roberta, for sending us this photo. If you have a photo such as nature shots, pics with friends, or interesting sights you see that you would like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@WBKB11.com.
That is wallpaper-esque.
I know, wasn't it beautiful? Yeah.
Coming up on WBKB News, should you hold off on that post-pandemic vacation? And Jake Vanderbrook will have the latest in sports. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The Michigan Department of Technology, Management, and Budget will help communities gain better internet access. The department received a $1 million grant. The funds will help expand broadband infrastructure and provide high-speed internet access. Barger Creek Wireless and Montmorency and Oscoda counties will be awarded monies from the grant. The FCC says over 6,000 homes across our viewing area lack the infrastructure for internet that's reliable or fast enough for modern standards.
In health news, while you may want to hold off on booking that pandemic flight and a possible link between dementia and your neighborhood, Elise Preston has some of the day's top health stories.
Where you live could impact your brain health. Researchers in Wisconsin say older adults who live in higher poverty areas have a greater risk of cognitive decline. According to their study, those living in disadvantaged neighborhoods showed more brain shrinkage on scans. They were also less likely to perform well on memory tests. A new study shows the positive impact later school start times could have on your child's sleep. British researchers say delaying start times for middle and high schoolers by just 40 minutes could give students almost 4 extra hours of sleep a week. Their study shows 1 in 5 students report being less sleepy, and children did not oversleep as much on weekends. And as U.S. airlines continue to book middle seats on planes, a new CDC study warns that might not be the best idea. According to researchers, leaving those middle seats open cuts COVID-19 exposure by up to 57% if a person is near someone who is tested positive. The CDC recommends you do not travel if you are not vaccinated. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Sports is coming up next, but first, Jake Vanderbrook is here with a preview. Jake, what's going on tonight?
Hey, Tyler, Sherry, Ellie, and to all of you watching. Next in sports, one area school went from pausing sports competitions for 2 weeks to starting competition on April 19th. Find out who, plus some more awards to share from the Big North Conference in both boys basketball and ice hockey. Keep it here, ladies and gentlemen, because sports is coming up next.
Welcome back. Friends and colleagues reflect on the life and career of Chadwick Boseman in a new special coming to Netflix. Chris Martinez has this story and more in today's Eye on Entertainment.
Hey, so I brought you.
Al takes his first driver's license test in an all-new episode of the United States of Al.
I could not focus. I could not concentrate. I did not know what to do.
Well, what do you normally do when you see a woman's legs?
I have never seen a woman's legs.
Al becomes flustered during his trip to the DMV when his instructor is a woman wearing shorts, something he's unaccustomed to seeing. The United States of Al airs tonight on CBS. A hapless man searches for respect in the comedy series Frank of Ireland.
This is my house. I have to defend it. It's like Home Alone.
Brian Gleason stars as Frank, a 32-year-old self-proclaimed musician struggling to grow up. Donald Gleason plays Frank's best friend, Doofus. The Gleason brothers and friend Michael Maloney are writers and creators of the dark comedy.
Once we had a picture of Frank in our heads, I think some of the best moments were kind of sitting in the room and imagining like the worst things he could do to himself and to the people around him. And the worse it got, the funnier it got.
Frank of Ireland streams on Prime Video tomorrow.
People call me an actor. I wouldn't necessarily call myself an actor. I would call myself an artist.
And Netflix has released the first trailer for the upcoming special, Chadwick Boseman, Portrait of an Artist.
He was not going to limit his experience of growth and learning because of cultural difference.
The special comes less than a year after Boseman lost his battle with colon cancer at the age of 43. It features interviews with the actor's former colleagues and friends, including Viola Davis, Spike Lee, and Felicia Rashad. Chadwick Boseman, Portrait of an Artist, is available on Netflix Saturday. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
That's all we have for you this evening.
You can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night.
And check us out on our Facebook page and Twitter handle at WBKB11.
Be sure to catch us back here tonight at 11 with Stephanie Manici. Have a great evening.